shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
And we're in between systems right now. I'll show you when we turn hotter and then wetter coming up.
Breaking news, Iran's president is now confirmed dead after a helicopter crash. The new information we've learned this morning, as well as images at the crash site.
Today, people who live in Wake County will have a chance to share their concerns on how their tax dollars are being spent. Just ahead, we hear from the chair of county commissioners about how that money is being dispersed.
A lot to tell you about as we kick off a new work week. Good morning, everyone. I'm Renee Chu. Great to be back with you. Last week, I lost my voice, and now it's back. Yay!
We found it. We found her. It's all good.
You're going to listen to me
yes,
all
I
morning.
will always, and
talk.
folks will,
Yeah.
even though we're between weather systems here as we get our Monday started. Elizabeth Gardner over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Right now, we had a little bit of everything over the weekend.
Mm-hmm. We did. I'll tell you what, even though we didn't see a whole lot of sunshine yesterday, it was such a nice day. Temperatures were great. I was out at Arts Splosion. Lots of people out there. Nobody was sweating. We take a look at Goldsboro this morning. A little bit of fog. There's enough moisture out there as our temperatures are cooling down that we're seeing some fog developing in spots. It is 59, so it feels really comfortable heading out the door. Our dew point is 57, so we're still going to feel really nice today. Looking at South Hill at quarter-mile visibility. As we get through the morning, we'll likely have those visibilities dropping, and quarter of a mile is about the threshold that we're seeing some fog. So we'll be watching for that. Definitely more cloud cover this morning. Once we get closer to lunchtime, our clouds diminish to only about 40% of the sky covered with clouds. So we'll see partly cloudy skies during the afternoon. On a nice day, 74 at lunchtime, 80 degrees for the high today. Enjoy that because the heat is on later in the week. I'll show you when we can get close to 90 coming up.
Elizabeth, thanks. Breaking news this morning, Iran's president is now confirmed dead after the helicopter crash there. Iran state media made that announcement just after 12:30 this morning, our time. The country's foreign minister and 8 others are also confirmed dead after that crash. Newly released images show the crash site on a steep wooded hillside. Now, Iran's first vice president will assume power as president. The crash happened during foggy conditions in the country's northwest mountains. President Ebrahim Raisi was a hardliner who had been seen as a possible successor to Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei.
We have breaking news right now. A man is seriously hurt. This is after a head-on crash involving a motorcycle and a car in Moore County. This happened just before 11 last night on NC 690 near McGill and Lobelia Road. According to the Highway Patrol, a driver was turning onto McGill Road when the car collided with a motorcycle headed in the opposite direction. The driver of the motorcycle was seriously injured and airlifted by helicopter to a trauma center. The accident is under investigation.
Today, people in Wake County can talk to the full Board of Commissioners in person about how the county wants to spend your tax dollars. This is the first of 2 public hearings happening this week. WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live from the Wake County Justice Center. And Laura, the proposed budget could significantly affect school employees and homeowners.
Renee, good morning. It is a big week for taxpayers here in Wake County who will have the opportunity to weigh in here at the Wake County Justice Center today before a final decision is made on the county budget. Now, I spoke with the chair of Board of County Commissioners, and she tells me that they're looking at several different areas to decide where that money gets spread around, including the rate for homeowners. The proposed budget decreases the property tax rate by 22%, but since home values are up, the amount you pay will likely go up as well. Wake County Chair Shanika Thomas tells me the extra revenue is needed if the county wants to keep serving its rapidly growing population.
When we look at what the needs of the county are, growth does not pay for itself. We have to make sure that we have enough firefighters and ambulances to get to all of these people. And it's 835 square miles in Wake County. And so we want to make sure as we continue to grow that we have the funding to support the needs of the people who live here.
She tells me other big priorities for them is education as well as public safety. We're going to hear more from that conversation with her in the next half hour. The public hearing begins here at 2 p.m. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
People who live near NC State's campus on Western Boulevard say they are worried after two shootings just an hour apart. Officers found a man with a gunshot wound near Sherman Avenue and Clanton Street just before midnight Saturday night. That man is 22-year-old Joris Cooper. He later died at the hospital. The second shooting happened an hour later, 2 blocks away near NC State's McKimmon Center. A person went to the hospital with serious injuries. Neighbors say it's scary to have these shootings happening so close to their homes.
Weird, because I live here and I come out sometimes, and hey, you don't know, a stray bullet, or just a resident, and it's I don't feel safe.
Police have not determined whether the shootings were related.
Today, you can learn more about how to protect your family from dangers on the internet. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from Green Magnet Elementary School in Raleigh. Kelsey, the school is hosting this event on internet safety as well as the state's Justice Department.
Renee, they are, and starting a conversation with your child about scary incidents that can happen on the internet may be difficult. So that's why parents are invited to come here to Green Magnet Elementary just to get informed. Today's event will cover 3 specific areas for parents about online safety, what dangers are out there, how to protect your child from them, and what to do if something goes wrong. Last week, we told you about parents going to Raleigh police. This after 3 10-year-olds said a man exposed himself to them online and threatened to shoot up a school. Data shows there's a disconnect between parents and kids when it comes to internet safety. A Microsoft study shows 74% of teens reported experiencing an online risk, but only 62% of parents believe their teen had experienced this.
These are people that have mastered how to get children's attention.
And the North Carolina Department of Justice will be here tonight to answer parents' questions. That event starts tonight at 5:30. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And I'm Chris Lovingood here in the WRAL Live Center, giving you a look right here. This is from the Iranian president's cabinet. Look at this photo you'll see here. There is the seat that he would normally be sitting in during his cabinet meetings, but it's been draped with a black sash as well as a photo of him next to it there. This is something we were watching unfold as, again, that report of that helicopter crash in which he died. U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer has said that he has actually spoken with intelligence authorities, and right now there is no evidence of foul play. According to the Iranian constitution, a new president must be elected within about 50 days. So we'll be watching that very carefully. And I've also been looking at the White House's website to see what President Biden has said about this. Obviously, we're in the early hours. This happened just after 1 o'clock this morning. We'll look for any other message from the president and bring it here in the WRAL Live Center.
Thanks, Chris. Tonight, Durham City Manager will present the budget proposal for the next fiscal year. It's happening during the City Council meeting that starts at 7 tonight at City Hall.
Teachers and staff in Durham Public Schools are calling out the school board for what they say are union-busting tactics. The Durham Association of Educators plans to hold a news conference this afternoon. They say the school board is denying their union rights during the negotiation for higher pay. This comes after employees held walk-in rallies at nearly 24 schools Friday morning. They say they expect a response from the school board before its next meeting on Thursday.
It's a live look right now in Baltimore this morning, where the cargo ship that crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge, causing it to collapse, will be refloated and relocated starting today. Unified Command plans to refloat the Dolly at high tide this morning. Officials say that whole process to refloat and move that ship will take about 21 hours. Crews will use explosives in the partial demolition of the largest remaining steel span of that Key Bridge. That's how they brought it down last week, right there. And take a look at this. A tornado was spotted on the ground near Mustang, Oklahoma last night, about 25 minutes outside Oklahoma City. The storms damaged several homes and at least 2 people were injured.
All-American Week kicks off at Fort Liberty today. The 82nd Airborne Division will host current and former paratroopers, their families, and the community for a variety of events. Throughout the week, paratroopers will compete in various challenges such as boxing, flag football, tug-of-war. There will even be a cooking competition to see who can claim the title of best of the best. It's also a chance for paratroopers to celebrate their service in America's Guard of Honor and to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice. It is 4:39. Sean Diddy Combs is responding after video was released of him beating his former girlfriend.
I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
His apology next.
Plus, he didn't win the PGA Championship this weekend, but still everyone is talking about Scottie Scheffler and his arrest. What's next for the pro golfer as he faces several charges, including assaulting a police officer?
And it's going to be a foggy start in some parts of the Triangle. This is a live look at Wake Forest. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner has a look ahead at the weather in store for our work week.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
4:43, and we're taking a look outside. Really nice temperatures as you're stepping out the door. 59 in Durham and in Raleigh. It's 62 degrees in Fayetteville. It was a cloudy day yesterday, but we're actually starting to see some fog along with that. So definitely waking up to some gray skies in spots. You can really see it here in Raleigh. Just the lights from downtown Raleigh. You can see the gray skies hanging above downtown. Visibility, we're looking for a quarter of a mile. We're not really seeing that. Last hour, South Hill was at quarter of a mile. We're looking okay in most places this morning, but I think that will change as we get through the day today. So heading out the door, you probably don't need a jacket. It's just really comfortable out there. Temperatures upper 50s to low 60s. So walking the dog this morning is nice. We climbed to 80 for the high this afternoon.
Week 6 of former President Trump's hush money trial gets underway today, and it's nearing the end. Trump's ex-attorney Michael Cohen is expected to wrap up testimony today. The defense is expected to complete cross-examination. Trump's lead lawyers say there is a possibility that Trump could take the witness stand himself. The judge told lawyers to be ready for closing arguments as soon as tomorrow.
We're learning more about a shooting in Savannah, Georgia that hurt 11 people. Now, police say gunfire erupted in Ellis Square in the city's historic district late Saturday night. All the people shot are adults. It's unclear how many of them were shot. No one has died. There's no word of any arrests.
Sean Diddy Combs is apologizing for repeatedly hitting his then-girlfriend, singer Cassie. The 2016 assault was caught on a hotel camera. Diddy addressed his actions in a video posted on his Instagram account Sunday.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
He and Cassie dated from 2007 to 2018. Combs' attorney says the decision to settle was in no way an admission of wrongdoing. His apology comes on the heels of a series of civil lawsuits alleging his involvement in sex trafficking and sexual abuse, allegations Combs has repeatedly denied.
Students and staff at a Georgia college are grieving the death of a student who was shot and killed on campus over the weekend. A female student was shot in front of a residence hall Saturday on the campus of Kennesaw State University, about 30 minutes away from Atlanta. Police have arrested a man who they say is not a Kennesaw State student. He's being charged with murder, among other charges. Neither the suspect nor the victim's names have been released. University police and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation are looking into this.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the Senate will try again to pass a bipartisan border security bill this week. The initial package was blocked in February by the Senate when Republicans withdrew their support. The Senate passed a separate foreign aid package last month. Schumer acknowledged that he doesn't expect all Democrats will support the bill. Republican leaders have already said they oppose Schumer's move to re-vote on the bill.
President Joe Biden is urging black voters to show their support for him in November's election. Biden spoke last night at an NAACP dinner event in Detroit. He said black voters are the reason he won in 2020, and he'll need them to turn out again this year.
You're the reason Donald Trump is the defeated former president. And you're the reason Donald Trump's going to be a loser again.
A poll from the Washington Post last month found 62% of black voters say they are certain they will vote this year, and that's down from 74% in 2020.
The North Carolina Transportation Summit gets underway in Greensboro this week. The summit will be held tomorrow and Wednesday at the Curry Convention Center in Greensboro. The yearly event draws more than 1,000 attendees to explore topics related to safety, funding, and innovation for North Carolina's growing population and transportation needs. This year's summit will include discussions on AI and machine learning's place in transportation, competing for grants, and many other topics.
Xander Schauffele's a major champion for the first time in his PGA career. He sank that birdie putt there on the final hole of the tournament in Louisville, the PGA Championship, to clinch that one-stroke victory. The win makes him the second-ranked golfer in the world now, behind Scottie Scheffler. Scheffler finished 8th in the tournament after his Friday arrest in the morning time on his way to the golf course. He played his best round Sunday, shooting 6 under par. Scheffler is expected to be arraigned tomorrow on his charges, which include assault on a police officer. An officer grabbed onto Scheffler's car as the golfer tried to go around a police roadblock to get into the tournament before the second round. Scheffler says it was all a misunderstanding.
It is 4:48, and you might want to grab a jacket before you head out. It's a cooler start, cooler for this time of year anyway, but it feels nice. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Also clear skies, Elizabeth. I saw the moon as I was coming in.
Yes, and now it's cooling off, and we're starting to see a little bit of cloud cover. Some fog may develop in some places as well. We take a live look at Raleigh, and when I came in, I could see the moon as well. So this has changed really quickly. You can start to see some of that cloud cover. So keep checking in case there's some places where the visibility is such that you need to pay attention to it. Right now, we're looking pretty good. 59 is our temperature currently. We'll climb into the mid-70s at lunchtime. Anytime you can say cooler in a forecast toward mid to late May, it's a good thing. But we do have a warm up in the forecast, which we'll be talking about. We do have the top of the tower lit in orange this morning because we have the potential for some low cloud cover and fog, and we're definitely seeing that outside the studios. It's a beautiful time of year, that's for sure. Thanks to Amanda Hensley from Apex for sending us a beautiful photo of her irises. Folks' gardens are just looking gorgeous, their yards. Send us a picture of your yard, your gardens. Maybe I'll put mine up here. I took a picture of my iris, of my lilies from my yard the other day and posted it on Facebook. So send us your photos. Go to WRAL.com and search Weather Watcher, and you can post your photos there. 80 in Raleigh today, 81 in Durham, 81 in Fayetteville, with increasing sunshine after some cloud cover this morning. And this dew point, this time of year, fantastic, down into the 50s. It will start to climb as we get into the week, and temperatures will warm up too. Look at that. Whoa. By the time we get to Thursday and Friday, we're back up to tropical feeling. So it is that time of year. 81 is our normal high, and we'll be at 80 today. We do climb to 91 on Thursday, but we're right back into the 80s after that. But the reason that we drop back down to the 80s starting on Friday is because we're going to move into a more unsettled pattern. We should be nice and dry this week, but we get to the holiday weekend and we're back to a chance for rain. We do have the potential for above normal temperatures overall from May 27th through June 2nd, so we may wrap up the month on a warmer note, but potentially a wetter note as well. Notice how things change getting into Friday. Temperatures are comfortable, but we get into a 40 to 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms each day for the weekend. We'll take an early look and walk through each day coming up in just a bit.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Father and son are taking family bonding to new heights. Their last flight together after years of taking to the skies.
And Manchester City remains on top. How the team won their 4th straight Premier League title. Manchester City are champions of the Premier League once again. They clinched the title with a 3-1 win over West Ham in the league's final day yesterday. They were the first team in Premier League history to win the championship 4 seasons in a row.
And a brand new movie out this weekend. David Daniel with our Hollywood Minute.
Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and friends want a union. 1,700 Disneyland cast members who play characters at the California theme park have voted to unionize. Other Disneyland employees, from retail and food service to security and hair and makeup, are represented by unions, but character actors have been excluded. The documentary The Blue Angels gives audiences a high-flying look at a year in the life of the elite U.S. Navy Aerial Acrobatic Squadron.
We're not just the 45-minute demo that you see in the public. It takes very rigorous winter training that starts in early November and ends the first or second week of March. And then our season goes all the way through November. And then we get just a couple days off and we're back into it for the next training season.
The Blue Angels just launched in IMAX theaters and zooms onto Prime Video Thursday.
You and I are standing guard in one of the last great open spaces. That looks like a promising place. The place I might be able to see myself.
Here's your latest look at Horizon, an American saga, Kevin Costner's planned 4-part Western epic. The first installment just screened at the Cannes Film Festival, where it received a lengthy standing ovation. It rides into theaters June 28th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
A father and son are taking family bonding to new heights, 30,000 feet to be exact. Eric Lake followed in his dad's footsteps as a pilot for Delta. Eric served as his dad's co-pilot for more than 500 flight hours. When Tom retired earlier this month, Eric wanted to make sure that his dad's final flight was memorable. Passengers and crew shook his hand, thanked him for his service. There was even a water cannon salute to send Tom off in style.
He is the best pilot that I've ever known. I think if I can even do half of what he's done, I think I'm doing something right.
Eric was able to fly with his dad on Memorial Day and on Christmas, and even turned down a promotion so that he could remain his co-pilot.
What a bond that is. Cool stuff. People in Chatham County can grab their coffee at a new Dunkin' this morning. Pittsburgh is getting its first ever Dunkin'. It's on Ramsar Road off Russet Run. The first 100 people there will get free coffee for a year. They'll also have more giveaways and prizes until 9 o'clock this morning.
It is 4:57. 2 shootings just hours apart in Raleigh have left people in a neighborhood feeling unsafe. We'll show you exactly where they happened.
And today, where you have a chance to give your thoughts on the new Wake County budget, where you can go to speak directly to county leaders.
America's first black astronaut candidate finally made it into space 60 years later, his historical trip to space.